Good morning, children. Welcome back to your history class. Children, as you all know, South India was divided into several kingdoms ruled by different dynasties at different periods. We already have learnt about the Chera, Chola, and Pandya dynasties. Once again, do you remember what a dynasty is? Well, a dynasty is a kingdom that is handed down from the king to his son. This continues for many generations. Today, let us learn about the most powerful dynasties, the Pallavas, the Chalukyas, and the Rashtrakutas. The two most prominent kingdoms of the Deccan and South India were the Chalukyas of Vatapi and the Pallavas of the Kanchipuram. There are several inscriptions that tell us about these kingdoms. A number of copper plate inscriptions also have been found. The Chalukya dynasty emerged in the region between the Vindhyas and the river Krishna in the western Deccan. Pulikeshi I established the rule of the Chalukya dynasty in the 6th century CE. He took Vatapi or Badami in Karnataka under his control and made it his capital. Pulakeshi II was the most renowned Chalukya ruler who successfully defeated Emperor Harshvardhan. The famous temples at Badami, Aihole, and Pattadkal were built during the Chalukya period. Look at the pictures of these temples on your screen. Did you notice the beautiful stone carvings? These temples are a part of our nation's heritage. People from all over the world come to study the grand architecture of these temples. The question is, how much do we Indians value this rich heritage? Isn't it our responsibility to preserve and protect these monuments? Next, we move on to the kingdom of the Pallavas. They ruled over northern Tamil Nadu and parts of southern Andhra Pradesh. Kanchipuram in Tamil Nadu was their capital. Mahendravarman and his son Narsimhavarman were the two well-known Pallava rulers who repulsed the attack on the kingdom by the Chalukya ruler Pulakeshi II. The Pallavas are known for their lasting contribution in the fields of art, architecture, and literature. The famous Ratha temples of Mahabalipuram were sculpted in single rock during this period. Look at the picture. Can you guess why they are called Ratha temples? Yes, it's because of their chariot like shape. The Pallavas had a powerful and well equipped navy. Internal and foreign trade with Southeast Asia flourished. Yuan Shuang, a traveler from China, had visited Kanchi and recorded that people of all religions received tolerant and just treatment in the Pallava kingdom. The Rashtrakuta dynasty extended from the Vindhya mountains up to Kanyakumari in the south. Dantidurg was the first king of this dynasty who established his rule in Maharashtra. Krishnaraj I was also a well-known king who had the famous Kailash temple carved at Ellora. Children, look at the picture of the Kailash temple on your screen. Would you believe it is carved from a single huge rock? Let us revise the portion that we have learned today reading the pages from the textbook.
The Chalukya dynasty. The Chalukyas were centered around the Raichur Deop between the rivers Krishna and Tungabhadra. Aihole, the capital of the Chalukyas, was an important trading center. It developed as a religious center with a number of temples. The Chalukya dynasty in Karnataka was a powerful one. The kingdoms of Kadamba, Kalachuri, had become powerful after the decline of the Vakatakas. But the Chalukya kings established their dominance over all of them. Pulakeshi I established the rule of the Chalukya dynasty in the 6th century BCE. His capital was Badami, which was earlier called Vatapi. Religious life. The Chalukyas worshipped Vishnu and Shiva. They were tolerant towards other religions. Their religious tolerance encouraged the Parsis inhabitants of Iran to come and settle down in India. Art and architecture. The Chalukyas were great patrons of art and architecture. They built numerous temples. Temples carved out of single rocks have been found. The famous temples at Badami, Aihole, and Pattadakkal were built during the Chalukya period. Trade. The kingdom was rich and prosperous. They had a good navy and merchant shipping. They carried on flourishing trade with Iran, Arabia, and Southeast Asia. Chalukya ruler Pulakeshin II. The best known Chalukya ruler was Pulakeshin II. We know about him from a Prashasti composed by his court poet Ravikriti. Pulakeshin II evidently got the kingdom from his uncle. He had successfully repulsed Emperor Harshavardhan's invasion. The Pallava dynasty. The Pallavas rose to power in the far south in the last quarter of the 6th century AD. The kingdom of the Pallavas spread from the region around their capital, Kanchipuram, to the Kaveri Delta. Mahendravarman was an able Pallava ruler. He expanded the Pallava kingdom. He was also a playwright. Religious life. The early Pallavas were followers of Jainism. Kanchi was an important center of Jain culture. The later kings were Hindus and worshipped Shiva and Vishnu under the influence of Tamil saints. Social structure. Yuan Chuang had visited Kanchi and recorded that people of all religions received tolerant and just treatment under the rule of the Pallava kings. Art and architecture. The Pallavas were great patrons of art and architecture, which reached heights of excellence during this time. The shore temple was carved from two boulders. The famous Rath temples of Mahabalipuram were sculpted during his reign. These temples have been sculpted in single rock. The rock-cut architecture includes 10 mandaps or raths. The best known among them are the Pancha Pandava raths. Trade. The Pallavas had a powerful and well-equipped navy. During this period, India came in close contact with the countries of Southeast Asia. Internal and foreign trade flourished. Pallava ruler Narasimhavarman. The greatest ruler of the Pallava dynasty was Narasimhavarman, the son of Mahendravarman. He repulsed the attack on his kingdom by the Chalukya king, Pulakeshi II. He also sent a successful expedition against Sri Lanka. The Rashtrakuta dynasty. Initially, the Rashtrakuta were subordinate to the Chalukyas of Karnataka. In the mid-8th century, Danti Durga, a Rashtrakuta chief, overthrew his Chalukya overlord and performed a ritual called Hiranyagarbha. At the height of their power, the dominion of the Rashtrakuta dynasty extended from the Vindhya mountains up to Kanyakumari in the south. Krishna Raja I had the famous Kailas temple carved at Ellora.
It's time to conclude our history class today. Children, in this lesson, we learnt about the different dynasties that ruled ancient India. In the next lesson, we will review the social and cultural life in ancient India. Now, you have to complete the worksheet given in the PDF below. Thank you.